1 roll of cream mesh, 1 24-inch evergreen, a 10-inch sign, and then your greenery green leaf, the Magnolia leaves, and then the big Magnolias. Okay, I have 2 ribbons, the Magnolia and the green. First thing we're gonna do is cut our mesh. Cut these at 20 inches. Now we're going to fluff this up. The way I like to fluff it up is I take my hand, I make a claw, and I just start pulling. This just kind of helps get it started. You can use either hand, you can use both hands, but go in one direction. This has, I think it's either 160 or 220 points. All that means is pieces. That's how many pieces, points, the little points on here. That's what that means. So of course the more, the thicker the wreath will be, bigger. And I will also tell you when they say things like 18-inch, 20-inch, 24-inch, such and such, it is tip to tip, not the ring around the wreath. So it's really important to understand that, because if you're trying to get it based on the inner ring size, it's not going to be the same. Okay. And different manufacturers do it differently, so you always want to check. Okay. Just kind of open them up a little bit more, but you can see how it does it really well. Okay. All right. Now, there we go. Doesn't have to be perfect, because we can fluff and move and stuff as we go around. I don't like to spend a lot of time on this step, because if you're going to be putting a lot of stuff in it, you don't really need to spend a lot of time on it. Okay. Pull your piece out. Let it kind of curl underneath, as we don't want to see any frays, and then messy ruffle it up just like that. Then you're going to pick a place, go down, push it all the way down to the bottom, and tie it with 2 ties, and fluff it up sideways so that your mesh is inside the wreath. Okay, so again, little curl, just right up the center. It's supposed to be messy. I'm going to go towards the bottom, just kind of down and towards the bottom. Then ruffle it up again. Then I'll go back, 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 like that. Okay. All right. And I don't care if it doesn't look straight, because it's not supposed to. This is how it fills in a little bit more. It doesn't need to be even remotely perfect. There. And I like this because it's stiff, and so it's going to do super well in this kind of wreath. It's very much like the basket weave mesh that was so popular for a while. Okay. And you can tell it is, right? Because you can see through it. That. We're just going to brighten it up and start to get some of the colors that we want to bring in for the Magnolias. Don't worry if there are big green spots, because we're going to fix all those. We have a lot to put in, so don't stress about that. That. And we'll come back and grab some spots if we need to when we're done. One of the reasons I do this zigzag pattern is so that I have a few left in case I need to hit a spot. And I also want to have some green areas that I can put my florals and all the other stuff. So, here we go. So back down. See how far that goes? So back up. And back down, and then we're going to go and fill in any spots. So we'll kind of go back and add some more. And there'll be spots that we need to add. Alright. So let's see how many we have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plenty. So I can see I have a really big spot right here. So let's fix that one. See, now it's perfectly fine to have some spots because you got to have some places to put your greenery and your florals. But you want to look for really heavy spots where it's got a whole lot of green. And that's where you want to put it. If you want more than this for mesh, then cut it at 15 inches instead of 20. I like the 20 inches because it does ruffle up so well at the 20 inches. Okay. And I generally find that I have to put more at the bottom than at the top. Okay. That one here. And remember, we're going to have a sign in the middle, so you don't need to put nearly as much at the top. And I always want to make sure I fill up the wreath before I add extras in, so that I can make sure I'm going to get it evenly covered. See how messy that is? That's what I want. I want it all messy. Okay. So, one more spot here, and I might want to put something right in here because it's pretty messy. It's pretty green right there. So that's really the only top spot, maybe right there, that I see. Okay. And if I'm doing a big wreath, like this one, which is a 24 inch, I usually do use all of the mesh. If I'm doing a smaller one, 20 inch, 18 inch, or something like that, I don't usually use them all. Maybe right here. I don't really think we need that last piece. So, I think we're going to leave that last piece. And we might put it in later if we see we need it. Look how pretty that is all by itself. Let's do our bow. Alright. So we're going to start with the Magnolia. Let's do let's do like 12 inches. So I'm going to cut this piece at 14 inches because I want to have an inch or so that I can put it correctly. So it's going to go down the straight way. Okay. Alright, so then I'm going to take this, throw this on the floor, pinch this up. We're going to start with it upside down. Okay. Go to the 6 inch. 6 again. There. Again. Again. And again. I'm not going to worry that they're on the same side because I'm actually going to move them. So don't stress about that. I'm also not going to care if these are upside down. In this piece, it's not important. Alright. Then we're going to take our green. Okay. I'm going to do 2 loops here. Okay, right there. Okay, then this time I'm not going to fix my tail. There's a reason. It's because we're going to move it kind of up top. So don't worry about it. Alright. This is a 3-2-1, pretty simple 3-2-1 bow. Okay. Let's go ahead and dovetail the big ones. Okay. There we go. Okay. Grab our zip tie. Get it started. Pull it out. Okay. Now we've got our indentation in there. So hold it, and I do mean physically hold it on one side. Pull that zip tie around. Make sure that little piece that we cut is still in there. Okay. Take one of your pipe cleaners. Run it underneath the back. Pull it real tight. Twist and pull it out. Okay. And when I say pull it out, I do mean separate them and then twist them. Don't be afraid to stop and really kind of pull on it and manhandle it a little bit, because sometimes that's what you need. Alright, so now we're going to add this in. I want to kind of find an area, like maybe right in here. Has a little bit of extra green in it. And I want to go let's go around the outer ring. I'm being careful not to pull it too tight. I am tying it on the frame on the bottom. So twist it up really good like this and then tuck it back in. And I'm keeping it from falling down this way by kind of setting it on top of the mesh that's here. Some of this needs to come out this way, like this. Okay, some down this way. So that's why I wasn't too worried about some of my tails. Okay. These that I did straight are going to be the ones that kind of hang down. All right, these kind of off to the side. Now, let's just kind of refluff everything a little bit. If I feel like it's falling down too much, what I'll do is take that extra piece of mesh and I will tie it right under, right on top of the mesh that's here. I'll tie it right under the bow, like this, and then it's going to keep that bow from sinking back this way. There we go. Perfect. Now some of these tails may need to be trimmed. You can even pull some out to the back like this. I like to do that too. Okay, so pull like this over here. Let's trim that. There. This one, just a little bit there. Perfect. Okay, this one over here. There. This makes your bow look rounder. That's cute. Let's see, it goes this way. There we go. There. Perfect. See, we got some up here. We got some out to the side. These can also kind of go to the side here and here so that they won't interfere with our sign. There we go. There. Put these back up. So don't be afraid to move your tails and things around because sometimes you have to. Alright, so this sign can go right here. Oh, that's so cute already. Okay, so we're going to put the sign in. I'm going to put a hole at the bottom and a hole at the top. I'm just going to use my wire. Okay. And then another piece. Okay. There we go. That right in there. Okay. Twist that around. There. So I'm going to put it right up in here. Okay. I'm going to use my weaving needle. Alright. Just thread it through like this. Then I'm going to kind of push it right behind the bow. Okay, and you can see right here where it is. I'm going to tie it on the frame, wherever's easiest to get to. So all I do to tie it is just twist it onto the frame. I want to kind of tuck my ribbon under a little bit just to keep it from covering my side. There. Like that. There. Okay, this side. Just right down through here. So I'm just twisting it around the frame a couple times and then I'll trim it off. There. Okay. Alright, now let me show you what I did with this ribbon. Okay. So I don't want this ribbon to fall down over my sign. So what I did is I took my ribbon and I bunched it there and I bunched it here so that it almost makes a little ripple effect. So bunch here, like this. Okay, and then it will kind of stay alongside my side without kind of going over it. So remember, this ribbon is wired. Use it to your advantage. Okay. Next, we're going to pull our leaves out. This is NF2005. I'm just pulling them out. Knocking things over. Okay. Now these leaves also have wire in them, so you can see how you can kind of adjust them. Okay. These make great pieces to put in for a wreath like this. This has 3. That's really too many. 4. It has 4. So let's take some of that off. So see, if you have like 2, you can kind of bend and fold them so that they're kind of away from each other. Okay. Alright. I'm going to start putting things in where I see green. So here. And remember, you always want to put something on the opposite side. Doesn't have to be in the same spot. But you just want to create that equality and that, what's the word I'm looking for? Balance. Okay. You want to create the balance. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. Okay. Right in here. You can also kind of turn it so that some of the back part is showing, because that also happens. You know, you go up to a tree and it may be facing forward, it may not. So it may kind of get twisted so that some of the back is showing and some of the front is showing. Like that. Okay. Just want to trim these off a little. Okay. I'm going to kind of bend and move them. I don't want them to look all the same. I'll start filling in my green areas. Okay. So remember, one side, then the next side. Okay. Okay. One side and the next side. That. So what I like to do is put in my biggest elements first, right? So we did the mesh. That was a big part. The bow. Then these large green leaves. Okay. Then we will do the large flowers. And then we'll finish off with our filler, which is that little green leaf. Okay. So see, they're not all in the same place, but they're balanced, right? So they're spread throughout. Okay. Now we're going to put these in. These also have leaves. Okay, the leaves are kind of, some are separate from the flower, so I'm going to cut there. That's going to go with the flower. Okay. So, cut. I may or may not use these. I don't really like them that much. They're kind of, I don't know, they're not that great looking. So we'll kind of set those aside. That's why we got these. Because as pretty as these magnolias are, the leaves that came with them are meh. That's what I say. So, we don't really need that. We have our own gorgeous big leaves. All right, now, we want to kind of space these out. I'm looking for areas where there's still a lot of green and where it'll take a large flower. So there. Let's go over here. Make sure you're getting it into the green. See, it doesn't have to be across, it just needs to be on the other side. It also doesn't have to be on the top. It can be on the bottom, like this. There. I think we're going to put one on the bottom in the middle. If you can't do, if you have an odd number and you cannot do something where it is even, what you do is you do a triangle. Okay, triangles. That's how you fix it when you have an odd number. So you don't need to do triangles if you don't have an odd number, but it's a really good way to do it if you do have an odd number. I think I want to put one right up here. Then it will still balance out. Because, let me show you what I mean. Triangle. 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 So even though they're kind of sped out and there's kind of an odd number, it's not going to matter. Because we have that triangle, and that's what makes it balance out. And we can get rid of these yucky things. Alright, all we have left is this. Okay. these off. We don't need these long stems, so I think I'm going to do 2 like that. 2 little leaves, 2 little leaves. So kind of cut them in half like this. Okay. I like this because it's light. It's going to pick up on this light green, some of the light green in here. It's going to lighten it up. There we go. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in areas where I see a lot of green still showing. This is a filler, right? So it does exactly what it says. It fills in. So just get a little glue on it into the areas where there's a lot of green. There's definitely some around the sign. Okay. It's funny. Not. Okay. There. Oh. There. One in there. Right in there. There we go. In there. Okay. What's 3 left? I'm just putting a little down at the bottom where I see areas. It's okay if there's still some green showing. You don't have to cover all of it. But doing this gives the green a purpose. So it's not like it's just there for no reason. Okay. Yeah. Now, you can, if you want, add in a little more ribbon tails. Okay, what you would do is take your 2 ribbons. You would cut about 8 to 10 inches. I usually cut mine at an angle. Pinch it at the top and then tie it in with your greenery pieces. Tuck it in like that. So if you want it to be a little fuller, this is what you do. You can definitely put them in up around the bow, but it's really good if you see green areas that you weren't able to cover. You can use your ribbon to do that. You can do smaller, longer, little ones. It doesn't have to be huge ones. But you have as you want. And you have built-in ties. So there it is. All right, let's get our camera back up. Okay. There we go. All done. All right, y'all. I'll see you in the next project.